New Year's resolutions have turned into something almost synonymous with failure, but today's video is not only going to set out how you can change that, but also the potential importance of New Year's resolutions on your personal finances, which is what this channel is all about. So let's do it. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel where I upload weekly videos to help you build healthy financial habits that last. And in today's video, I'm going to set out 3 simple tips to help you achieve your New Year's resolutions. So the first tip I want to hit you with is when goal setting, you need to try and be as specific as possible. So rather than saying, I want to save more money each month, saying I will save £250 per month is far more powerful for 2 reasons. Simply by saying I am rather than I want is transforming the statement from a wish to a plan, and something that you're far more likely to stick to. And secondly, by giving a quantitative number on how much you want to save means that you can take steps to make sure that happens. Relying on motivation to change long-term behaviour is a recipe for failure, as there's only so much motivation that we can muster up. So this means that we have to identify much smaller habits that contribute to the overall behaviour. And this is something Dr. BJ Fogg talks about in his TED Talk video that has racked up 1.6 million views. So check out this clip here.
Now, when we look at health outcomes, bullseye, what do we want to do? Well, things like lose weight, manage stress, and so on. But if you design for the outcomes, you're designing at the wrong place. You need to design for the behaviors that lead to the outcome. And if you take an issue like weight loss, there are many, many behaviors that can contribute to that outcome. Stress reduction, eating better, and so on. And I would propose that most of the behaviors that we need to do are habits. So of the 15 ways behaviors can change, the one that matters most to long-term health are habits. And as we create what I call these tiny habits, and we can't do it all at once, little by little, we will then approach this health outcome in a very reliable way, in a way that doesn't regress, in a way that doesn't make you, oh, I give up, now I'm just going to go back to how I was.
So from this we can see that habit building starts small. And if we translate this into New Year's resolutions to save more money, there's a whole host of things that we can do. Start by looking at what you're spending your money on. And say, for example, that you identify that you're getting takeaway or takeout 3 nights a week. Start by cutting that down to once per week. This way it doesn't seem so overwhelming and it doesn't seem so bad. After a couple of weeks of this, make it once every other week and continue doing this until it's completely cut out. The small incremental improvements will mean that you're far more likely to stick to it rather than just cutting it all out at first and becoming completely overwhelmed and quitting. Breaking it down into smaller, manageable chunks means that you're far more likely to stick to it in the long term and requires far less motivation. And the third tip I want to hit you with is to simply write down your resolutions. And this may seem very simple and even corny to some people, but the simple formalization of your plans has a really powerful impact on holding yourself to account in the future. And speaking from personal experience, last year was the first time I ever wrote down New Year's resolutions or ever really attempted to do them properly. And it's the first year that I actually managed to achieve all of them and properly improve myself. And next up, I just want to touch on a few resolutions that I have in the coming year for myself. So I'm sure nobody cares, but if you are interested, continue watching. And me talking about these on this video is just another method to hold myself to account, because every time I see this video on YouTube or whatever, I know that I've talked about these goals. So it's just another method for me to hold myself to account and for my future self to not let me down. So in terms of this channel, last year my goal was simply to launch it by the summer, and obviously I did that. We're here now, but I want to become far more consistent in uploading content. So my #1 goal for next year is to upload at least 1 video a week without sacrificing quality. Last year I wasn't always consistent with uploading, but hopefully I can be so in the future. And then on top of that, I'm also hoping to run my 2nd marathon, so that means that I've got to get back out there and start soaking up big mileage weeks again. I've already started it this week, but I need to get back into the groove of running 4 or 5 times a week. And then I want to keep up my consistency with reading most nights, so I can try and get through a book per month, so I'm always learning about something new or reading something that I enjoy. And then of course, I've got saving goals this year, and I've actually upped them quite a bit this year as I'm no longer paying rent as I'm living at home, so I'm able to save a bit more into my stocks and shares ISAs. So hopefully these investments grow quite well this year, but if they don't, that just means that I'm buying them at a cheaper price. So over the long run, it could be better. And then the next two might be a bit deep, but I think we can all agree that it's been quite a stressful year, and I thought I was fine soldiering on, but I've had a few heart problems, and I don't think this has been helped with the stress that I've been inflicting on myself. And the heart problems did stop me running for a little while, and I still don't know what that was, but like I said, I don't think it's been helped by the stress, unnecessary stress that I've been putting on myself. So I'm going to try and use the Calm app a bit more, something that I get free through my Amex offers. So I'm trying to do the gratitude journal, which is just simply writing 3 things down that you're grateful for each day, which again, it's probably a bit corny, but I think it has been helping me just to be a bit more appreciative of what I have and not so obsessed on trying to have more and more all the time. So thank you for watching all the way till the end. I'll see you in next week's video, and I hope everyone has a good and happy new year.